Hi, this is Ann Stacy. What we do is build relationships, and we have one of the best relationship building ladies that we could possibly have. And we were just recording just a few minutes ago. This is in 3 parts. The second part, Natalie was telling us, Natalie Sopinsky, who's getting ready to speak here, we're going to have just a round table of question and answers. But I thought it was very interesting. If you don't know about area A, B, and C, I'm going to let Natalie tell you. But what I know is that because I travel with Jewish groups, you can't go into area A. Area A has a big red sign saying, not good, don't go in here. It is illegal for Israelis to go into that area. And so even though there's Arab Israelis, believe me, it's okay for them to go in, but it's not okay for Jews to go in. It is a Judenrein area is what it is. You talk about apartheid, there it is. But anyway, she said something very interesting just a minute ago. And that was that they had a call for an emergency for a child in an Arab village. And the people who were on call for that, they ignored everything. They ignored the sign. They drove into what they knew was a hostile place to help a child, a 12-year-old child. And I just thought that was amazing. So what would motivate people to do? Well, could you tell us quickly what A, B, and C is?
Okay, so areas A, B, and C is how the areas in Judea and Samaria are divided up by the government. It's a political thing. A means Arab, and there's a big red sign saying Jews not allowed, and the government is not responsible for your safety. Israeli is not allowed. What they mean is Jews. B is the lands are shared. It's Jewish and Arab together. You don't see signs for B, and you don't see signs for C. C is Jewish because we let everybody in. So Arabs included. So A, big red sign, lots of words in English, in Hebrew, in Arabic. Basically, Jews keep out. We're not going to be able to come and save you if something happens to you. So we did get a call. We do get calls sometimes from the Arab villages. Why? Why do we get calls? Because we come. We come fast. Yehuda and Hatzalah, Judea and Samaria, Hatzalah, Yehuda and Shimron. We come fast. The Arabs have their own emergency services. They are not as dependable and they are not as professional. So we do come, and in this one instance, the story I was telling you, we came and the Arab villages was a hostile Arab village, and we quickly got that boy on the stretcher, and the problem was you had to belt them onto the stretcher, and they didn't have time to belt. They just picked him up the best they could. They held him with their arms and put him in because the Arabs were coming out. These were angry Arabs. They could have lynched our medics. It's unfortunate, you know.
It was a mother and father medic, right? It
was a woman and man medic. Woman and man, and that woman was not armed. The man was. The woman had to go get some training and get a weapon. That is the reality of living in Judea and Samaria. It is hostile in some of these areas. It's a struggle. It's a challenge. We live with it. We live with it, but we're willing to live with it. Hopefully, it won't be like that forever.
Okay, Natalie, it sounds like you were just telling us about you have all these great volunteers, but you have some wishes and you have some desires, and you're explaining to us your hopes and dreams. Would you tell us, because here we have wealthy Christians, wealthy Jews, we're a little spoiled. What can we do to help you, and what are your wishes today? Because we want to help.
Okay. What we need is every volunteer to have equipment. Unfortunately, it's not like that. To my surprise, I recently went to a graduation of a class of 50 new trained medics, and they had no equipment. They got a vest, but they had nothing else, and they need equipment. There's a nice imbalance of so many volunteers. We have so many people who want to be trained medics for all kinds of reasons. But we do need equipment. They each do need a medic bag. They are useless without it. A medic bag is $2,000 for a basic medic bag. It's heavy, heavy stuff that these people have with them all over. They have it in their car. They have it in their home. paramedic bag is $3,600. A defibrillator is $2,200. There aren't enough. There's not enough equipment. If you go to a mall here in America, you'll see a defibrillator on the wall at every hallway where there's a bathroom. In the malls in Israel, you see them too. You will not see them in Judea and Samaria.
Natalie, why do you do what you do in Hatzalah?
Why do I do what I do? I live there. I have raised my family there, and I've used these medics, and they need help. And you know, it's not like you don't really notice it. You know, it's part of the scenery. They are so modest. They are so humble. They need a voice, and I'm trying to be that voice. I have a big mouth, you know, and I will use it for them. They need it. I wish I was taller and louder. I'm really trying. They need help. I feel for them. I feel for them, and they really are awesome. They are there. They are out there. They are, like I told you. I mean, I know these people. I know them. They don't ask for anything, but if you need them, they're there.
Natalie, my question was on a little more personal level. I was just wondering how your family in Delaware reacted to you making Aliyah to Israel in your college years, and are any of your family going to make Aliyah, or have they made Aliyah to Israel?
Okay. So my family thought it was a phase, and they thought I would be back and carry on and probably intermarry and become like a regular American like the rest of my brothers and sisters, and so many of my Jewish brothers and sisters. They have not become religious, and they have not made Aliyah. They have no intention of making Aliyah, and they were angry. And now they're not angry. I think they're proud. So that's the most I can hope for.
Yeah,
That's good.
And they do visit. All of my siblings have come one time. I've been there for 15 years, so it's not great, but it's something.
Right.
You know, can I ask you something about the radio show? Tell us how they can find it. It's once a week, right? How do they
All
find
right, so I am on the radio, the only English station in Israel, I believe it's called Israel News Talk Radio. It is on the internet. It is under the Fox satellite. We have Fox News on the hour. I host a program called Returning Home, and it is about Aliyah, and it is showcasing people who are going to move to Israel and in the process, and people who have already moved to Israel. It's all in English, and it shares just regular stories. We do not have superstars. We do not have famous celebrities. It is people talking, like you and I are talking today, about their struggles they had and the struggles they've overcome. And the point is to encourage and inspire others to do the same thing. We need to fill up our homeland.
Well, I would take issue with you on superstars. I think they're all superstars.
Yeah.
I think they.
You're a superstar.
When she's a superstar, but these people, you listen to them, you listen to their stories. These are people who, you know, if the Bible was being written today, they'd have a part in it. They'd have a chapter in it. They might have a whole book in it. So you might have a book in Sussya. But I'd like to just mention, well, I listened to her one day, and she had David Rubin, who used to be the mayor of Shiloh. And they were talking about the idea that theft was not really an issue within the Jewish community.
Right.
And that I was just struck by the children going to the local little grocery, which is not very big, is it? And the fact that they have to leave their backpacks out, but it's not because of theft. they can go in and sometimes the store owner's not even there. He's gone away to do something. No one's afraid of something.
So,
being stolen.
right, they take off their backpacks, the children, when they go in the store because there's no room. It's just because there's no room. It's small, narrow. There is no theft in the small settlements. Everyone knows each other. It's very 1950s America, if you can imagine. We don't lock our doors. We don't take things from others without returning them. People don't lock their bikes. You need to borrow milk, you go to your neighbor will say, go ahead, come take it out of the fridge, the door's open. We have accounts at the store, you say your phone number, they have your name, they write you down. Children walk alone, you don't need to walk them to kindergarten. 3-year-olds, they don't wear shoes half the time. There's sometimes, my little boy is lost. Has anyone seen David? Has anyone seen that? He's asleep behind a rock next to the synagogue.
Oh, well.
This type of thing. Everyone knows you. You know your neighbors. You trust your neighbors. Everyone's your neighbor. It's very Mr. Rogers' neighborhood that way. It's great.
It's beautiful. I think our final question for today, Natalie, is before I ask the question, I just want to tell you, you are an inspiration to us, a big inspiration to us, and we are honored to have you. What I believe you're doing, and I've heard someone else say this, if this is not me, I'm not the person who coined this term, but I do believe you're doing holy work there in the land. I'm representing the Jewish people, and it is incredibly inspiring to watch this happen. But I do believe that the heart of this roundtable Q&A session today is to really highlight why you're here on your trip to the States. And so with that, I want to end the final question of Hatzalah. I hope I'm not mispronouncing that. What is your biggest need? And then I want to ask you about what your real purpose here is today. What is your biggest need right now?
We need medical equipment. We need equipment, and that is bags with equipment. That is ambulances. Those are vehicles, defibrillators. Those 4 things we need. We need more.
I heard someone say earlier about, I think it was you, Mike, that our wealthy Jewish and Christian friends here in America who look for opportunities to support the Jewish people, so it seems like there's an out of balance kind of where the wealth is here, but the need is great where you're at with the equipment. We have more equipment and wealth and less volunteers, and you guys have more volunteers and less equipment and money. Is that right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So what you're doing is you're here you have a campaign going. It's $1 million fundraising campaign.
Right.
And that's what you need to equip your volunteers to save lives in Israel, not just Jewish lives, but as we heard, Arab lives as well.
Yeah.
So tell us about how people can donate to you. And the deadline for this campaign ends at the end of this year, December 31, 2021,
That's
correct?
right. That's right.
It's a tax write-off, so end of your donation. So tell us more, how can we help you raise your $1 million?
Well, the fastest way, everyone has the internet today, is www.hatzalah.org.il, and you click that donate button and you put in your credit card information. We want to raise $1 million by the end of the year. It is now October 10th. You can do it. We have 2.5 months. It is a tax deduction. And I think with all our, Jewish and Christian friends who love Israel, who come to Israel, who want to come back to Israel, to come back to the heartland, we're the ones who help you when you need us. We're there, and we need the equipment to keep our work going and to equip all our new medics. $1 million by the end of the year, whatever you can do to help. Everyone gives $1,000. We're going to do it. We're going to do it.
That's right. We can do this. Well, we're going to support you. We're going to make a donation for sure. So one more time, the website, and is there an email or somewhere they can reach out to you directly? So give us the website and the email.
So, and you can even put this on the bottom of the screen, maybe.
Yes, I will.
www.hatzalah with an H on the end .org.il, and you can reach me at an even easier way. It's Natalie at hatzalah.org.il, or on the radio station, it's an English one, Natalie at israelnewstalkradio.com. That is, you don't need to translate that.
Right. Thank you, Natalie.
And can I tell you, 200 people giving 5,000 people $5,000 is $1 million.
Easy.
We can do that.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time on our next show.
Thank you.